Today on episode 157 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, TCF Sports Minute, the NFL offseason update, a pick three, and of course a TCF top three of dog breeds. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 157 of Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Make sure to find us on Twitter at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like as well. Head on over to the YouTube page. Subscribe there for all of our content in video form. Wherever you get your podcast, we are there as well. So make sure you subscribe, rate, and review if you can, wherever it is. Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get them, we are there. But make sure that you follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. And, of course, the man that I am joined with tonight, that is Zach at ZLiliaTCF. Maddie is not with us tonight, but he will be back next week. And we're going to get back in the swing of things. I looked, Zach, we haven't put out a podcast since, I think, January 28th. The month of February got very busy. And we'll get to some of that here in Sinkers and Floaters. But as always, dude, we always got to talk about it. The weather's beautiful.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better. We really haven't got any snow. I know that's going to end up coming back to bite me. But no snow as of right now, much. And the temperature's nice. It's getting darker later and later every night, so that's getting even better. And we're getting closer to spring.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and say it. And this, like you said, this might come around to bite me here in the ass here. But I don't think we're going to get any more snow. Knock on wood, of course. But this has been, the most mild winter
of the century.
Yeah, that's very true. I probably just jinxed it. But I feel like we've had the most mild winter that we've ever had, right? I don't remember many below zero temperatures, if we've had any.
I can't remember the last bad winter we had.
It was the winter right before COVID starts, 2020, if I remember, was the year where it was negative temperatures all the time.
I just mean snow.
I could be wrong.
I can't remember the last time we had a bunch of snow in a winter.
It might have been that winter because I remember getting snowed in near the last week of the basketball season. So it might have been that year, might have been the year before. But either way, it's been 3 or 4 years since we've had a really bad one. So knock on wood.
Yeah, before we have a horrible winter.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, we'll jump right into things as always. We've got sinkers and floaters. My sinker this week is high school basketball. As you guys know, I coach high school basketball. I love high school basketball. It's probably one of my main, I guess you could call it hobby. Even when I'm not coaching, I'm going to games, following it, all of that. But the state tournament is this upcoming weekend, so that means that high school basketball will be done here in the state of Illinois. And if anybody wants to argue with me, the state of Illinois has, outside of maybe Indiana, the best high school basketball state tournament in the country. And we've been to, I think, Zach, we've gone to regional, 2 regional championships. We've been to sectional semifinals. We've been to sectional finals, super sectionals. I'll be at the state tournament this Thursday with my team. I've been to every state tournament since I was 6 months old. And it's just the kind of we talk about the weather being nice and everything. And I love this time of year, but that also means that a very big part of me and what I do in my quote unquote spare time is coming to an end. So that kind of stings.
Well, yeah, but getting into nicer weather, getting some golf. You got a lot of big things going on.
Yep, baby will be here in 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. So
still exciting.
Very exciting. Very exciting. I can't complain.
But a good first year.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, things went well. We improved quite a bit from where we were when I took over the program last year. It was one of those seasons. I know it was a good season because when the season ended, I was very bummed and I wasn't ready for the season to be done. So that's kind of the judge on how you weren't ready to be done with it. So very good first year. Looking forward to year 2.
You had fun.
We had a lot of fun. Very good group, and hopefully some more fun here on Thursday. We had a Madden tournament last weekend. Shout out to our senior Eli. He took home the Madden champion. Or not, wait, I'm not being Madden. We decided at the last minute to switch to 2K, so he won the 2K tournament. So been going well, and like you said, just a really good winter. And Zach, you probably took in more high school basketball this year since when you the days when you played, all the games you went to this year.
Very true. But my sinker is being very sore. Me and Boomy, we went on a walk around the lake in Mendota, and then we went to Anytime Fitness, and I didn't do very much at all, and I am still very sore.
Nah, dude, you got to give yourself some credit. You haven't lifted weights in well over a year, and I put you through my, back and biceps workout, and you did like all but one thing. So you're going to be sore. It's a good thing, though.
Yeah, it's a good thing to be sore. But it's been a while since I had lifted a weight at all. So it probably at least a year. So not like I'm here to get jacked or anything, but just feel a little better.
Oh, yeah. And I was thinking about this, Zach. I don't know. We might have to bat this around on Twitter. We might have to do some sort of, I don't know if you want to call it weight loss challenge, but a fitness challenge here once the summer hits.
Yeah.
Just something for the content, right? For the numbers.
Yeah, my way of losing weight was COVID, so
I'm with you, dude. I lost 8 pounds when I got COVID, so I'm with you there. But
some of the reason that we have not had a podcast here in a while too.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot to mention that.
But yep, back at it though. And I would like that. It's a good motivation.
Should we become fitness influencers on Instagram?
No.
I think we should.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, there's a lot of work. We could just take steroids and
we could try.
There's some options here. To go completely against that, my floater this week is fast food, and that is because there are 2 fast food menus on items right now that are going to completely destroy anything that we've been doing in the gym. The KFC Double Down is back. I don't know if anybody remembers this. I think it was like 2009 or 2010. It is basically a sandwich that doesn't have bread, but instead uses 2 fried chicken patties, and then has like bacon, cheese, and sauce in the middle. I think it's like a 1,400 calorie sandwich. I remember having one back in college, and I absolutely loved it. And then also the Chicken Big Mac is on its way, coming out at McDonald's here soon. And I'm not the biggest Big Mac fan. I know you're more of a Big Mac guy around here, but I will definitely be trying the Chicken Big Mac. I don't know about you.
I will not be doing that.
What do you mean?
That doesn't sound good to me.
I think you're wrong. So we can lose all of our progress we've made in the gym at KFC at least.
Yeah, that would be a lot of working out for one meal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to have to walk a lot more than 2 miles on a little evening stroll to burn off a KFC Double Down.
Yeah, a lot more. My floater, though, is what I'm pretty much watching all night, and that is college basketball. I mean, they got the big tournaments are starting today, Wednesday. I think like Big Ten, Big East starts today. We got some of the smaller conferences championships going on right now. Next week, we'll start the first round of March Madness. College basketball is all over the place right now.
It is. This is without a doubt the best time of the sporting year. I talked about my love for high school basketball, but college basketball, and especially like you said, the conference tournaments into the NCAA tournament with the NIT and the CIT and the CBI, all those tournaments going on. Like today, I think the first game came on TV at 10:30 in the morning, and the last game will go off at like 1 a.m. When it's all said and done. So This is the perfect time of year for our particular living room setups. You in the living room and me down here in the man cave with 3 or 4 TVs rolling at once. So I love it, dude. I'm with you this time of year.
So I'm pretty sure we are taping on a Tuesday night, and let's see here. Still got three more games. We got a 10 o'clock game, 10:30 game, and a 10:30 game. So it's that time of
Yes.
year.
We might be done recording this in time for me to catch the tip of that 10:30 game. So let's roll. Speaking of sports, we will keep it rolling with the TCF Sports Minute. Yes, we have to get our enjoyment out of college basketball because professional basketball in the city of Chicago absolutely stinks. The Bulls 29 and 36. They are currently in the 11th spot in the East, a game and a half out of the play-in spot. 7.5 games out of the 6th seed. I don't know, dude. I hate to throw in the towel so early, but this might be too little too late for this Bulls team.
Yeah, I am. It's not fun to watch right now. Just even when they have a lead, you never trust it. I don't know. The defense is just not good.
And that's what sucks, right? Like Pat Bev comes in and they have the first game and they just absolutely blow the next doors off.
Trying to play defense, but it just doesn't seem like some of the players want to.
Yeah. Like I said, I completely agree. I think it's almost too far gone. Now, the nice part is like it's still a game and a half out of the tournament. You never know what can happen. But I think deep down we all know that even if they get out of that play-in tournament, you're going to turn around and get smacked in the first round anyway. So
I really don't like the extended playoff, like with the higher seeds, because I just don't feel like any of those teams have a chance. But I guess maybe one day I'll be wrong, but it seems like anyone who comes out of there is not going to do well.
Yeah, it's such a tough hill to climb. You got the, physical, obviously, but the emotional draining of getting out of a 2-game. Like, look back at that Timberwolves series, and they, I think it went to 3, and then they get out, and it's like, oh, here's the Denver Nuggets. Good luck. It's just such a big hole you got to climb yourself out of. And that's what's frustrating. Like, unfortunately, I think that this is all going to result in Billy Donovan getting fired when I really don't think, and this might be the Florida homer in me, but like this isn't Billy Donovan's fault necessarily.
No.
This team was good. I mean, you can't blame Billy Donovan for the Lonzo Ball injury that's now sidelined him for a year. You can't. Zach LaVine has not been the player he was last year, and he got the money and has not been as good. And and then obviously you got to talk about DeMar DeRozan and Vooch getting older, and then you might be able to tack on the lack of development from Patrick Williams, who just, I don't know if we overhyped who he was, but he can't score. And you need to be able to score in the NBA. Like, this is not 97 when Dennis Rodman could get away with averaging 6.5 points a game because he had other guys around him that could score. Like, that's just not how the game is played nowadays. And I don't know, like you said, the defense is just atrocious. And I'm starting to lose hope. I still have like a 1% glimmer of hope that they're going to figure it out. But, I mean, Christ, we're already in early March and not a whole lot has changed.
Yeah, these last, probably 15 games left?
Yeah, so 29 and 36. Yeah, there's maybe like 17 games left.
They'll all matter, so at least it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And on the other side of the arena, things you're cheering for losses. The Blackhawks 22, 36 and 5, 49 points. They currently have the second to worst record in the NHL behind, I believe, I thought it was Columbus. I could be wrong. We don't have our hockey savant Maddie here to fill us in, but I mean, we obviously haven't talked since Patrick Kane got dealt to the Rangers. Really, this team is Seth Jones and Jonathan Tays just kind of hanging out now with absolutely nobody after the deadline. So I don't know, man. I had written down here just tank, and hope for the best. Get Connor Bedard in here.
Yeah, very sad seeing Patrick Kane leave. You would think a top 5 player in Chicago history, just because winning 3 Stanley Cups. I mean, a legend forever. And then the rest of this season, we want to lose every game.
Yeah, and I mean, even I think everybody kind of knew, like, with the Patrick Kane stuff, and then it just kept like trickling, right? More deals coming in, and I mean, they're down to nobody and somehow pulled out a win the other night. So it's like,
yeah, you hate to see it. You don't want to lose, I guess, but you do want to lose.
oh no, you definitely want to lose. I mean, you're not trading away everything you have in hopes of, okay, now we'll pick it up. And there's no like mathematical chance you're going to pull yourself out of the second to last record in the NHL and figure it out. So I feel like you might as well just lose and get yourself in the Bedard sweepstakes. And I think even the Fantilli kid, the one that'll be the second pick of the draft, he's going to be good. But I think Bedard is the one you got to be aiming for. And I know it. We could sit here and argue till we're blue in the face about the ethics of tanking, but at this point, I don't care. I want this team to be
You
back
want
to
be
where
the best team with the best player. Unfortunately, that's how you might have to do it.
Exactly. So, a little bit of hell going on both sides of the United Center there, with the Bulls middling and the Blackhawks being what they are. But let's jump into some college hoops. A little Illinois update. We got Illinois going into the Big Ten tournament at 20-11. Northwestern 21-19. Playing really solid. Coach Collins, Big Ten Coach of the Year, really big there. I think the best team in the state of Illinois, Southern Illinois, 23-10. Unfortunately, I believe they got bounced in their conference tournament. Bradley, 25-9. Bradley's really damn good. ISU, on the complete other side of things, ISU, Western, and Eastern with records of 11-21, 16-14, and 9-29. They have all been bounced from their conference tournament. Their seasons are over. NIU still alive. The MAC tournament starts, I believe, tomorrow. And NIU, it used to be all the teams made it, and there was like a play-in game. They changed that a couple years back. Only the top 8 teams in the MAC make it, and NIU got the 7 seed. So they will be playing. I know they got a tough hill to climb. I think they got Kent State. But they're technically still alive. So probably going to see it most likely 2 teams from the state of Illinois playing. And we don't even talk about Chicago State. They barely exist. So I'm thinking 2 teams maybe from the state of Illinois. Maybe I think Northwestern is in. Illinois got to win a couple games here.
Northwestern's easily the best team in Illinois right now, too.
Yeah, I agree. And then Bradley sitting there, 25-9. I don't know 100% if the Missouri Valley, I think that conference tournament's over. I think Drake won it, if I'm not mistaken. So probably not going to see Bradley or SIU. There's a possibility, but we'll see. We'll get into some more college basketball next week when the brackets are announced. But if we had to sit here right now, Zach, real quick, who do you think is going to win the NCAA tournament? I love this debate.
Kansas. I'm going Kansas this year.
You stole my pick, I think. I think I said it the other day.
One of your 3 picks.
Yeah. So, in my mind, I want to say, I think the best team right now is Houston. But in my mind, I close my eyes, and I can't imagine the Houston Cougars hosting the national championship. I can't picture Purdue hoisting up the national championship trophy. And it's probably because I have a dumb brain and I've seen schools like Kansas do it before. And obviously Grady Dick is one of the best freshmen in the country. And obviously, with Bill Self running the ship, you never know. But yeah, this is such a weird year. Even like Alabama, who has been a top 10 team all year, obviously with all this side stuff they got going on. I also can't for some reason picture Alabama hoisting a national championship. So I really just think you go back to the blue blood in Kansas and a coach that's been there before. So we'll see. We'll get really in depth with that next week when the brackets come out on Sunday. But before we move on, we got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Guys, they have the best coffee around that you're going to find. They work with our guy, Dom Frederick and Ian Habb, so it's quality stuff. Those guys would not promote or drink bad coffee. Zach loves it. Zach's mom loves it. I like it, and I'm not a coffee guy, and I love it. So make sure you check out connectroasters.com. Follow them on Twitter at Connect Roasters. You can find their products in the city at Foxtrot Market and Dom's. More locations coming soon. But whatever you do, head on over to connectroasters.com. get yourself some Connect Roasters coffee. Trust me, you're going to thank me later. Even while you're there, check out their teas. I'm more of a tea guy than a coffee guy, but cannot go wrong with either. So shout out Connect Roasters Coffee. Moving on to the NFL, it is in the off season, so we got a couple things to dive into. Let's go ahead and start with the Bears on the clock for the first overall pick. Zach, I think it's kind of the consensus that the Bears are looking, and I think Ryan Poles even said he is actively shopping that first pick. What do you, as a Bears fan, what do you truly think that the Bears are going to do with this pick?
They're going to trade it. They're going to trade for whatever, I guess, the best thing they can get with round. How many? Like, can they get draft picks? Can they get players? Can they get whatever they can get? And I think they're going to trade it. I just don't see them staying at that one seed or one pick.
I will say that, and all of this is just stuff I'm seeing online, is that, and I want to know if this is like a negative thing as a Bears fan. What were to happen, or what would you think if the other teams in the NFL kind of call their bluff and know they're not going to take a quarterback and say, that's okay, we don't necessarily need to trade the capital for that one pick. Maybe we'll try and slot in at the 2 or 3, and the Bears end up getting stuck with that. A lot of mock drafts are, I shouldn't say a lot, a couple of mock drafts I'm seeing saying that the Bears might get quote unquote stuck with Will Anderson at 1 because other teams are going to call their bluff. Would you, if that were to happen, is that considered a failure of Ryan Pace?
Yeah, I think that would not be good. And I just don't see that happening because I think that by the time the draft starts, teams are going to want to make sure they can get the quarterback that they want, and they just don't want to risk it going to somebody else.
Yeah, especially if they're like super sold on somebody. Actually, the one, and I know this is just, some people I follow online, they were saying that he thinks his theory was that the Bears are going to get, stuck with the 1. And these other teams are going to, like, I actually saw him based on what happened at the combine, Anthony Richardson from Florida being the first quarterback off of the board, which, I mean, I'm a Florida Gator fan, and I don't think that Anthony Richardson is that good. I mean, at the end of the day, he couldn't complete passes at Florida. And yeah, you could sit here and nitpick and say Billy Napier was in his first year as a coach and all this stuff, but his accuracy was not great. And yeah, what he did at the combine, I mean, he was basically the best thing that NFL fans have seen at the combine ever. But I do worry for the Bears that they might get rid of the 1, but I don't know if the haul is going to be what a lot of people expect, just for the fact that teams can say, we know you're not going to take a quarterback here. I'm not going to give you 3 1s for a pick that I know you're not. I'll call your bluff on this. There's no chance that you guys come out here and draft a quarterback.
But I think at some point, teams are going to be nervous that the guy that they want is not going to be at the second pick, and the Bears will hold all the chips.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the Bears are in the driver's seat here. A lot of this, I think, is going to come down to, can Ryan Poles, get the right deal? And I'll be honest, if he doesn't get 3 1s, so what? If he gets a 1 this year and a 1 next year and a couple other picks, like, that's still a good haul. Like, especially I thought coming into this college football season that this draft class of quarterbacks was not going to be that deep, and it's turning out to be a fairly deep class, right? Or at least that people think it is. And if you have to, move for a couple 1s and maybe not take the haul, you're still making moves for the future, and don't get, jumping off the ship just because of it might not be the haul that you expect, because like you said, they are in the driver's seat here. Another name I did see pop up that was released by the Chiefs, Frank Clark was released. Any interest in the Bears bringing Frank Clark in?
Yes.
Yeah, Frank Clark's an animal, dude.
The Bears need everything, pretty much.
Yeah, literally. There's and if I'm not mistaken, Zach, isn't there the Bears have like something like $90 million in cap space or something like that?
And I've seen that they are most likely not going to re-sign David Montgomery. So that kind of sucks, but we'll see.
Are you okay with the Bears? Like, obviously, even trading, future picks. Are Bears fans, comfortable with the Bears being not very good again next year if it means, trading for
No, I
three
think
number
that
ones?
you have to see progress next year. I
Yeah,
mean, it's that hard because they were the number one
yeah,
worst
that's
team in
true.
the league, but I don't want to be in that range of a number one pick again next year.
Sure. You want to make those deals done with the correct teams that you think,
At some
hey,
point, you're gonna start wasting years for Justin Fields.
yeah, yep, definitely. Okay, so you said basically the Bears need everything but a quarterback. What would you say are the three most important positions for the Bears in the draft/free agency right now?
Well, I'd say offensive line, which I guess is
5 positions.
5 positions, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Wide receiver and probably defensive line because they have Eddie Jackson. They got a few corners and safeties that they can bring back. That defensive line, I mean, with all the trades that they made, I'm forgetting about the name of the guy who was the linebacker at the end of the year for the Bears.
Oh, big white kid from Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, he played well. I
Yeah.
think he will have a spot next year or this coming season. And so I think defensive line, I guess, which is another 5 positions, offensive line, and wide receiver.
Yeah. You want to know another position I don't think the Bears need to go out really hunting is tight end. I think Cole Kmet had a nice year last year.
I guess, yeah, but yeah, that wouldn't lump him in the wide receivers. But
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
But yeah, he played well last year. He had
I like Cole Kmet.
4 or
I'm a
5
big fan.
touchdowns.
Definitely. So let's jump into the rest of the NFL right now. There's been a ton of movement here. I'll go through some of these. If you got something to say, go ahead, throw it out. Derek Carr signs with New Orleans, I think 4 years. But I think there's opt-out clauses in that for both him and the Saints.
Surprising.
Yeah, I still think Derek Carr's got some talent. I don't think that Derek Carr was necessarily the problem in Las Vegas.
No, but when you have who am I thinking of? The wide receiver.
Michael Thomas.
No, that he had this year.
Oh, Devontae Adams.
Yeah, and I don't know. That just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But hey, good for him. He got paid.
Yes, he did. And kind of like a fresh start for him, right? He's been with the Raiders his whole career, and now he gets a little fresh start, maybe make something of it in a division that's awful.
Yeah.
He gets to play Carolina, Tampa Bay, and who's the other team in that division? The Falcons twice a year. So he might be all right. Daniel Jones re-signing with the Giants.
So much money.
That is a lot of money for a guy. I mean, the Giants started off hot last year, and we're not great. Yeah. He's good, but
he got his 5th-year option.
Yeah. And then I believe the Giants franchise tagged Saquon today. So looking like he's going to stay there. Lamar Jackson got a non-restricted franchise tag?
Yeah, like non-exclusive franchise tag, which means if somebody signs him, they can try and match it.
Yep. Right now, March 7th, do you think Lamar Jackson is a Raven next year?
No chance.
I don't think so either. I haven't
thought that since the end of the season when he didn't seem like he really wanted to come back from that injury.
Yeah, I mean, and like in his defense, like they haven't given him weapons there.
No, but I just mean that he would have played for a team that he liked. or a team that he
Yeah.
trusted. And it just seemed like after that, it was like pretty much done for.
Yeah. Geno Smith signs a
Doesn't know
deal in
that
Seattle.
he's his own agent too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Geno Smith staying in Seattle. I don't know. I mean,
A
1
lot of
year,
money.
that's a lot of money for a guy who's been a
A lot
very
of money
average
for a guy
quarterback
who had
90%
one
of his
good
career.
season, and I don't know. He had a good season.
Josh Jacobs gets tagged in Vegas. I mean, Josh Jacobs is a fine running back. He's a top
What I
10 running
found out
back.
today is teams will pay a lot of money for an average quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You know what I mean?
I feel like a lot of teams with as far as like running back goes, like I feel like some of these teams are paying for past performance because we all know how finicky the running back market can be.
Oh yeah.
And like, I mean, here's another one I had next. Tony Pollard gets tagged in Dallas. Yeah, he's better. He had a better year than Zeke. I think he's a better running back right now, but like it's a ton of money that's going to go to a position that is often the most injured position in the NFL and the one that cycles through the fastest.
Yeah.
So what do I know?
It just seems like I said, teams are giving just crazy money to quarterbacks, and then they're like, oh, wait, we got to pay everybody else?
Well, and with the same thing being said, though, like Derrick Henry is now being shopped. And I mean, 2 years ago, you'd think that people were crazy for getting rid of Derrick Henry, but that's just the running back market. So, and the last one I want to touch on.
I wouldn't say sort of happy that Saquon got franchise tagged because you'd want him on the Bears, but I just don't know if you want to give a running back that much money.
Yeah, and especially one who's had the injuries that Saquon has had. Last one we got to talk about. It's looking more and more like Aaron Rodgers is headed to the Jets. Not going to, speculate, but that's just kind of what the feeling is as of Tuesday, March 7th. And it is what it is. I'm excited to see what the haul is going to be, kind of how that's all going to work out. And the big thing I think we talked about earlier today was what's the contract going to be? Are the Packers going to have to eat all of it? Are the Jets going to take it? What are they going to give up because they're going to have to take it? But you know what? It's time.
I also think they're just going to depend on if they take the money, then they're not going to get that much back. And then if the Packers have to take the money, then I think they're going to get a lot of picks. It's just going to depend on what happens there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like $45 million?
Yeah, it's a lot of money. But we'll see. I think it's probably time to move on. I'm excited. I know you think he stinks. I think you're wrong. I think Jordan Love's got some talent. Snaps.
Aaron Rodgers. I'd say Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback.
Yeah, and I think the Jets, for him at least, like the Jets, they have pieces there. And I feel like the Jets are.
I would just say let's just wait.
Yeah, I'm excited. I thought maybe that first year when he had to start when Aaron Rodgers got hurt that it looked really bad, but the snaps he took last year looked a lot better. I think he had like a 62% completion. Obviously, those weren't in all in close games or anything, but he was a first round pick. Yeah, he was probably actually a second round talent, but when you draft a quarterback, you want to see the kid and got to see what he has, and we'll see if something gets done before the draft. So let us know what other moves we missed in the NFL. Obviously, a lot of things could happen between now and the next podcast, so let us know what we missed there. We are going to head and move into the pick three. These are the random graphics I find online and love to debate them. So there are three carts that we can pick. There are 9 in total. So it says, which crew would you like to golf with? You get to be the fourth in this cart. As you can see there on the screen for those of you listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I'll run these down real quick. The first one, Conor McGregor, Dana White, Jake Paul. Number 2, Roger Goodell, LeBron James, Dave Portnoy. Cart number 3, A-Rod, J-Lo, Ben Affleck. Cart number 4, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. And number 5, MJ, Larry Bird, and Magic. Cart number 6, The Rock, Vin Diesel, John Cena. Card number 7, Khloe Kardashian, Tristan Thompson, and Kim Kardashian. Number 8, Zach Wilson, Pete Davidson, and your mother. Not Zach's mother, actual, like you, the listener's mother. And number 9, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Tom Brady. Zach, do you have yours ready? Do you want me to go?
I'll go first. I go Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, so that'd be number 5.
There you go.
Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and Tom Brady would be pretty awesome. And then we'll go Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, because you maybe become friends with a bajillionaire.
I like where your brain is at, Zach. Which one of these 9 cards would you least like to be in?
Number 7.
Yeah, I think everybody. I've also got
Kim Kardashian.
I've got another contender for that one. Number 8. I don't mind Pete Davidson. He's all right. I think Zach Wilson's annoying, which means that he'll probably be involved in the Aaron Rodgers trade, and I'll have to take that back. But I'll go with mine. And I think what'd you say?
I don't like number 3.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I'm not going to take the same ones you did. So I will go. We've talked about this a million times. I'm becoming more and more of a UFC guy. I'll take number 1. Conor McGregor, Dana White, Jake Paul. I think that'd be a fun group. A couple drinks getting poured back. I think my first one I would take though is number 2, Roger Goodell and Dave Portnoy and LeBron. Obviously, I love LeBron, so I think it would end up turning into me and LeBron sipping wine, watching Dave Portnoy just berate Roger Goodell for 4 hours. And I would love to see that. Then me and LeBron would be best friends and be able to laugh about it. So I think that'd be the first
jersey that you ever owned from him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got them all over there. I could wear like one jersey every 5 holes, I think. So that'd be a fun one. And since I'm not going to take any of the ones you did, I think the one that would be really entertaining, especially you talk about like business success, number 6 with The Rock and John Cena. Yeah, Vin Diesel is not the businessman that The Rock and John Cena are, but like I feel like that would I think a lot of that depends on, is The Rock and John Cena going to be like Dwayne Johnson and John Cena, or are they going to be like the wrestling characters? Because if they're the wrestling characters, then they're going to be a lot of fun. But even if they're not, like you could talk business and like I don't think that's the worst part in the world.
I don't think I have much in common with John Cena.
I like John Cena. I'm not the biggest wrestling guy, but I love John Cena. And it is probably because like I'm getting sappier in my older age, and like his like Make-A-Wish videos always like, kind of hit me in that. I would love to hear like, and I think like, especially with him and The Rock, like just to talk about all like the traveling stories and like the wrestling stuff. Like obviously I'm not that big into it, but
it'd be cool. But like, I just feel like you'd have nothing. I'm trying to hang out for 18 holes. We'd have nothing in common.
I think you're being too dismissive. I think they're more of regular guys than you think. The Rock being kind of I think they're more than you give them credit for.
Like 27 hours a day. And then, John Cena has always been in crazy shape, and the way they live their lives, nothing like us.
I know, but like it'd still be fun to hear their stories and stuff. I don't think they'd be
all of these guys would be, I think.
Yeah. I think card number 2 would be the most fun because I think you'd end up seeing Dave Portnoy punch Roger Goodell. So, and then me and LeBron just hanging out watching it. So that would be the one that I would want the most. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. As always, we have the TCF top 3. And I don't know why I came up with this topic. I was sitting around looking around my house and saw my dog.
A dog my whole life.
Yeah.
One dog.
Yeah. I was running out of ideas, and my dog was sitting next to me, so I figured, what the hell? Let's do dog breeds. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go second. It doesn't matter.
All right. My number 1 I can save my 1A and 1B. I can save one A for later, but boxers. I love boxers, those big dopey looking faces. If I didn't have the dog I had now, I would have a boxer. So that's what I'll take as my number one.
I'm going to go golden retriever because they're just beautiful looking. And then bulldog. I wouldn't really know if I want a bulldog, but they're just cool look. They are stinky dogs. They drool all over, but they just look awesome.
Yeah, I agree. They're very, very cute dogs. They are very high maintenance. But I feel like
I would want to have a bulldog, but like go see one every once in a while.
Yeah. No, they feel like they'd be a good hang.
Your buddy had a bulldog.
Yeah, it'd be a good hang, right? Like you don't have to. They're pretty. You don't have to take them on tons of walks and stuff like that. I like that pick. I'm not the biggest golden retriever guy. They shed too much for me, but they are cute dogs, so I'll give you that. Let's see. My number two, I've got to go with the dog that I have now, pit bulls. I love pit bulls. They get such a bad rap, and I just think they're adorable. So that's an easy one for me. And my number three, I'm stuck here. There's so many different dog breeds that I like. I'm going to go with a Rottweiler. I used to have that was my first dog, was a Rottweiler. Shout out Max. They looked vicious. I think I'm just like drawn to dogs that people think are vicious that I've had before or been around before and that I like. Boxers aren't that vicious. They look kind of dopey, but pit bulls obviously get a bad rap. Rottweilers get a bad rap. I also love Doberman pinchers and dogs that just look violent, but they're not. So that's a really good three. I like my three a lot.
Then I'm gonna go with Wiener Dog. Is that an actual breed?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just funny.
What do you have any honorable mentions? I've got I like big dogs, so I like Great Danes. They're like 5 feet tall when they stand up.
That's all I got.
You're not the biggest dog guy in the world.
Don't say like that.
No, you've had one, like you said, you said it earlier. You've had one dog, and you're just not the biggest dog guy. You're not like a dog hater.
I'm allergic.
You're not Barstoletti out here.
I'm allergic.
Before we go, I gotta what's your least favorite breed of dog?
I don't know. I wouldn't know what my least favorite one is, but I don't know if it was me and you. We were watching the dog show one time.
Yeah.
And there's some hateable looking dogs on there.
Yeah. This is bad, but I don't like little dogs. So anything little and yippy, Shih Tzus and Chihuahuas are probably my least favorites.
Some of the most random dog breeds, and then just I don't know if they're really ugly as much as some of their haircuts are just awful.
Yes, I'm completely with you.
They're probably worth not hundreds of thousands, but probably thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah.
And it's
another one I forgot. I love Dalmatians.
Oh, I guess I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Let us know what your favorite dog is. I know we're missing a ton here. But we could probably
I need to give one more. Let's see if I can give one more.
Come on, I know you got it in you. What about what?
A poodle?
I don't hate poodles. Some of their haircuts are obnoxious. Remember I think, and I'll speak for you here because I remember the one you liked in the dog show, Shiba Inus.
Yeah.
You did like the Shiba Inus. Yeah, that was a great time. We sat at your house for 2 hours on a Saturday night having some beverages and watching the American Kennel dog shows. So always good time.
Dogs.
Oh yeah, 100%. But thank you for joining us. That was episode 157 of Typical Chicago Fans. We will be back on a more regular basis, at least once a week here, with the tournament starting next week. Spring training. We didn't even talk baseball today. We're going to have a whole baseball episode coming up here soon.
I'll tell you one thing. David Bodie, he's going to lead the league in spring training at bats. That man played every game.
We also might have to get my dad on the line. My dad has been at every Cubs home spring training game this spring. So kind of get the feel for him down there.
Chilling.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's right now, as we're recording this, he is at the Grand Canyon, Arizona baseball game. Has been texting me updates. So I'm about to block his phone number because I'm tired of seeing all the pictures and everything that he's been doing. That's been fun. But we'll have a ton more content coming soon. I promise. We have a food review coming soon. I cannot stop buying Chinese candy and foreign candy from our guys out at It's a Bodega. I'm starting to get a little bit of a supply here, a little stash built up. So we'll be getting back on those soon. I promise more content is coming up here shortly. But wherever you get your podcast, we are there. Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe, rate, and review. Head to Facebook, Instagram, type in Typical Chicago Fans. Give those pages a like. Head over to YouTube, subscribe there for all of our content in video form, especially with the food reviews coming up and maybe some weight loss challenge stuff. Who knows? But go to YouTube, subscribe there. You can find us on Twitter at typical_Chicago. I am on there at BoomyTCF, and Zach is at ZLiliaTCF. Give Maddie a follow at schools_01. He will be back next week. We appreciate you for joining us. That was episode.
We gotta give a shout out, Drake O'Donnell. He got
shout out Drake.
758 in a 3-game series.
Shout out Drake, probably the best bowler I know. I'll go ahead and definitively say that best bowler I've ever shook hands with. Shout out Drake O'Donnell. This was episode.
You've shaken a lot of hands.
I have, and I'm secure in saying Drake is the GOAT that I've shook hands with. So. Thank you for joining us. That was episode 157 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.